Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to share with you the things that I have created with my very first ambassador package from Jesse James Beads. They had sent me a gorgeous selection of items which I shared in a previous video. This is what I have remaining. There was this beautiful mix of blues and blacks and like gray collars in the Cookie Monster mini bead mix. As you can see, I have just a very few pieces left. There's 4 of the little cube beads, 1 of the faceted little rounds, 2 of the 2-hole beads that are the gray ones, teeny tiny little faceted bead there, a couple little bigger of the blue, and then yeah, that little other blue bead there. So I've got just a few pieces left of the bead mix, so I did pretty much wipe that out. Hopefully I can come up with some way to incorporate those into future pieces. I did use this entire strand of orange citrus, which is beautiful. It has like sort of orange and yellowy, sort of yellowy gold, amber, just different colors that are gorgeous. And then I had Chain Reaction, which I didn't use the ones that they had sent me yet. I pulled 2 different Chain Reactions that I already had in my stash because they went with the beads. So for this, for the bead strand here, the orange citrus, it came on the strand and it was like this. Let me put these together here. Okay, so it was on the strand just like that. This was the center right here. I just divided it right there, and I took this section, put it on some gold beading string or bead wire, and then I just did the same with this, put this little section here on some gold beading wire, and then the same section, like the other half of the bead strand, I just made a little section here. And then I took the Chain Reaction that was in my stash, which has this sort of orangey, ambery color beads on the chain, which went perfectly with, like, especially with these beads right here. I thought the chain matched perfectly. And so I just divided the chain into sections. And then I actually just crimped directly to the chain and made these little sections here, and just goes around. You have that as the focal piece of the necklace. That's like the center that hangs down, and then each of these pieces, these sections, are up the side of the necklace. So you have this really nice long and flowy necklace here, which is even on both sides and has this piece down the middle and then curves back up, and there's the rest of that chain. And then at the very end here on the clasp, I just used one of my larger gold lobster clasps from the stash, and I had one little bead that was left over that I took off of the chain, and so I may end up finding like a little heart charm or something just to hang from there, from the end there. But as of right now, I just have that dangling from the clasp, and I thought this was very gorgeous and elegant, and that chain just matched perfectly with this bead strand. So that is the first piece that I have created. Lay that to the side. Now with the Cookie Monster piece, I was able to make 3, or the Cookie Monster bead kit, bead mix, I was able to make 3 different pieces. So let me start out with the bracelet first. Here is what the bracelet looks like. And I just used some silver beading wire, and I kind of wanted to do like the 2-strand bracelet, and the beads that I was going to put on the trying to remember, I had like a different design in my head when I was originally putting this together. Actually, when I first designed the bracelet, I had forgotten all about these being 2-hole. So I was going to do this as like a 1-strand bracelet, but completely didn't even pay attention to the fact that they were 2 holes. I'd completely forgotten. so I had to kind of redesign it a little bit. But I really like the way it turned out. I like the look of the wire, you know, wrapping around the beads and just kind of separating and coming back together, and just gives it a little bit of extra detail and design, and just add a little touch to it. And I love that little dangle on the end. And this bracelet, when it's closed, actually it measures just shy, actually it's pretty much between 7.5 and 7 3/4. So it is a little bit big on me, because I usually wear around anywhere from 7 1/4 to 7.5. So this is a little bit big on me, but it's not like super huge. It's about 7 3/4 inches. Just sits really nicely on the wrist, and like I said, I love the look of the wire. I use some soft flex that had actually come in a candy corn bead kit that I had purchased from, I believe it was, yeah, off the Jesse James website a while back. And I just used this white beading wire. Worked perfectly with these for this bracelet. So there is that piece. The next one, I just used some regular chain. This is a very short necklace, but I mean, it fits me perfectly. It hits like right below my neck. It's like a choker almost. And I used the 4 of these little teardrop beads that were in the Cookie Monster mix. And I used just a bunch of the different beads from the mix together, including there were these 2 silver beads, and these 2 sort of look like a top is what they remind me of. I thought these worked perfectly right there at the below those other silver beads. And this is just what it looks like right here. Very fun. I love the way those kind of shoot out there and just kind of hang down. Use some of the little curvy silver spacers around these very pale blue, not sure if they're glass. I think they kind of feel like they might be glass. I'm not sure exactly. These have texture on them. They're very sparkly, glittery, and have like a texture to them. And then just use a simple little lobster clasp. This very fun, different looking necklace, and I love the length of it on myself. I mean, it'd probably be good for like a little kid, because it is kind of small, but I have a small neckline, so the shorter necklaces really fit me perfectly, and I prefer the shorter necklaces. Now for this last one, I did pull out some of my chain reaction that just has the clear beads on here. I made it, there is no clasp, it just goes over my head. Let me see how long it measures. It measures about 13 inches, and then the dangle, the piece that hangs down, is like 2.5 inches. So this piece that slips over the head is about close to 13 inches. And I just took some more of the beads from, I love these little cage beads, and there were these large, I think I might have used those for my stash, these little spacers here, and the little stripe beads, and just all kinds of different variety of the different shades of blue and the different sizes and shapes. And I just love the mixture that you included in this Cookie Monster kit. And it had one little ice cream that I wasn't sure how I wanted to use it, so I just took some like jewelry wire and made a long piece that just hangs down, and had this dangle from the bottom. And I did use some of my bead caps from my stash and made this almost like a Y necklace, just so that piece comes down. And this is what it looks like. Very bright, pretty. I love the shade of, it's looking a little bit more turquoisey in the camera, but it's more, not quite as deep blue in person. It's a more lighter shade of blue in person. But there is the necklace, and I love that, you know, not having a clasp, it's just real easy to just slip over your head. And that is what that last necklace looks like. And that is what I have made so far with my first ambassador package. And I do have my chains left, so I'm going to dig through my stash of previously purchased Jesse James beads and see what I can't find to go along with all these gorgeous chains that they sent me, because I do have 5 beautiful chains that I want to do something with. So that is what I have created so far. And I do have, like I said, these few beads here that are remaining, but I did use up the entire orange citrus bead string, which was very gorgeous. And I'm so happy that I had that chain in my stash, because it went beautifully with those beads. And this bracelet I absolutely love. Love that bracelet. So what is your favorite piece in all of these things that I have made? I love the colors of this, but I love the design of the bracelet. So thank you everyone for stopping by and checking out what I made with my very first Jesse James Beads Design Ambassador package. I look forward to hopefully, bringing you another video soon with what I can come up with for all these different chains. Very pretty beads on those chains. And this one has a lot of purpley tones to it. So that'll be fun. I've definitely got plenty of purple stuff that I can pull from. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Oh, shaking the camera. And I will talk to you all in the next video. Take care.